Breaking news, there's a new Gemini 2.5 Pro update, 605 update it's called, and it's literally just come out. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it step by step today. You can see the benchmarks right here, so how it performs, and it's performing better than ever. It's beating, for example, OpenAI o3. It's also destroying Claude Opus 4 according to the benchmarks on science, and additionally it is winning on the benchmarks for coding. This is the new announcement from the CEO of Google, right? You can see on the web dev arena, it's absolutely dominating right here. So it's right at the top of the leaderboard, beating Opus 4 and Sonnet, Claude 3.7 and also 4.1 by a long way. And also we're going to be testing out and showing you exactly how to use it. Now it's not at general availability yet, but if you want to use it, you can get it for free inside AI Studio, right? So if you want to get access to this, you can go inside AI Studio, and then from here you're going to click in the top right. There's a bunch of 2.5 Pro preview models, and this is the one you want to use. You can see here 6-05. It is free to use. I haven't got my credit card plugged in here, but obviously there is a token limit, so you can't absolutely rinse it. But we'll be testing out side by side and just seeing how it performs, all right? So for example here, let's take some of the prompts. These are all inside the AI SEO Success Lab. If you want to get access to this stuff and check it out, we'll say build a runner game where the character speeds up with every jump or power up. We're going to plug that into Gemini using 2.5 Pro here. We'll click run and see how that does. Wait for that to load, and that's starting its magic right here. So you can see it's now analyzing the runner, working its magic. You can, of course, use the canvas inside Gemini, but I don't think it's implemented directly inside Gemini yet, and that's why I'm using AI Studio in case anyone comments about that. And we'll keep going now and see what we get back. Alright, so we've got the single HTML being created right here. Wait for that to load. In the meantime, if you want all the video notes from today, feel free to get that along with a Gemini 2.5 Pro inside the AI Success Lab. The AI Success Lab is completely free. Comes with 100 prompts on how to use Gemini 2.5 Pro, along with all the other latest updates, as you can see, and a community of 9,500 people. So let's get back to the AI Studio outputs here. You can see it's now adding the audio inside the HTML. We can also run this side by side with other examples. So if we actually duplicate this, and we'll go inside AI Studio, inside the chat, and then I'm going to say, okay, create a Roman marketplace simulation with people walking around in Three.js. Hit enter and see what we get back. And you can see this is a thinking mode as well, so it automatically uses thinking depending on what task you're asking it to do. And we've got thinking mode enabled on the right hand side, so make sure you just have that allowed. You can set a budget for that as well. And you can connect this to Google search using the grounding option as well. So that is still coding out on the first test. We've got the second test running now. If we go over to OpenRouter as well, you can see that you can get access to Gemini 2.5 Pro preview as well. These are the prices if you want to use it directly inside OpenRouter, so you can start coding with it. Bear in mind, this is a paid model, so it's a paid API inside OpenRouter, but you can use it for free inside AI Studio. Like you can see I'm doing, I'm not getting charged for this. We're going to go over to Live, or even just preview this bad boy, see what we get back from the Roman marketplace simulation. We'll plug that in. And we've also got the HTML runner game, so let's check this out. Let's compare as well side by side versus the prices here. So we can see the benchmarks for Gemini 2.5 Pro versus OpenAI o3. So in terms of input price, it's actually a lot cheaper. So 1.25 versus $10. $10 output price versus $40 from OpenAI o3. The prices are way cheaper. DeepSeek is the only one that's cheaper, to be honest, and also OpenAI o4 Mini, which is very close in terms of comparisons here. It's winning on science and also humanities last exam, so it's performing pretty well right there. So if you're wondering what is the update, just to recap here, there's a new version of Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's outperforming on LM Arena with a 24-point ELO score jump on LM Arena, and also a 35-point ELO jump on Web Dev Arena. And also it's showing top tier performance on GPQA and humanities last exam. Now, when I'm testing it, the marketplace test has not worked at all. I'm going to try some simpler stuff. So let's go back to the AI Success Lab. And we're going to test out building a playable synth keyboard with Web Audio API. The only thing I don't like about coding in AI Studio is that you don't seem to get previews, right? So you have to copy and paste everything into LiveWeave manually, which is super time consuming. But if you get access to the latest models, you know, it's worth it, I guess. So here we go. Here's the Web Audio API synthesizer. Beautiful. We got some serious musical beats going on there. Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a time to be alive. You can make synth keyboards whenever you want now. Let's try something else. So I'm going to say, make me a captivating endless runner game. We'll plug that in as well. This will be in P5.js. By the way, if you want to get all these prompts plus a course on Gemini 2.5 Pro, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. And we'll test out the dinosaur running game now as well. Not bad, but the UI is not great, like green on green. I don't know where AI learns its color selection, but that is not ideal, mate. Still works though. It still does its magic. So I can't see a huge difference in the quality of coding in terms of outputs here. Let's try it on Visual Studio Code now. So I'm going to try with OpenRouter and we'll start building some stuff out. So if we go to RouCode, OpenRouter, Client seems to be the best place to use this. You can see the apps that are being used for Gemini 2.5 Pro preview over here. So you've got Client as the top one. Let's check it out. If you're not sure how to set this stuff up, by the way, feel free to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Comes with lots of training and all this stuff. So we're going to get OpenRouter set up now. And I think it will be that model, Pro Preview, this one right here. So we'll hit save on that. It supports browser use as well. So let's give this a test run. We can check how much this is going to cost as well. So I'm excited to test this out. What you can do is if you want to check out how much it's costing, etc., then you can go to activity inside OpenRouter in the top right, and you can see how much stuff costs you. All right, so for example, you can see here I'm using Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview 0605, so that is the right model. And then you can see the cost. So it cost us 0.0235 to test this out. So now you can see Client is actually, this is quite cool about Client. It can create like mermaid diagrams. So it's planned out the whole game, how it's going to build it, etc. I just said looks good, let's switch to act mode now, and then we can start coding, right? So if you want to create the mermaid game first, click on plan and then use act afterwards. And why is it switched back to that's the other thing as well, just be careful when you're using the API, because there's a different API for plan and act, right? So if you switch to act, you have to switch to the API as well for OpenRouter there. So that's why it gave us that error. Now it's coding out. Seems lightning fast, to be fair. The only thing I hate in Visual Studio Code is all the pop-ups. Like as soon as you open it, you get overwhelmed with crazy pop-ups. So let's see what we get back now. It's coding out, creating the logic. In the meantime, we can go back to here, and we can also use the chat mode as well. If you don't want to use AI Studio, you can use the chat mode here too. So let's test that out. We're going to try create a Pong game here, and we'll say build a hyper-dopamine Pong game, make the ball trail neon sparks, blah blah blah, and see what we get back. In the meantime, we can also take another one here and plug that into AI Studio. Alright, so we've got AI Studio coding out with Gemini 2.5 Pro. You can also use the chat room inside OpenRouter, and then additionally you can use Visual Studio Code like you can see right here. And if we run the command, let's see what we get back. There we go. To be honest, like the visuals are not that nice compared to something like, I'm pretty sure if you built that out in Claude Opus, it would look a lot nicer on the front end. Let's test that out in the same prompt. So if we go and take that prompt over here, then we're going to go over to Claude, and I will do another video comparing these two. Then we're going to go inside here, we'll select Sonnet just for the sake of speed, and let's see what we get back from Gemini versus Claude and see which one performs the best. From what I've seen though, all the outputs have been pretty underwhelming. Like, I thought it would be a lot better considering the benchmarks, but like the actual code itself that's coming back, not that great when I've tested it inside AI Studio and also inside Client as well. I just want to be 100% transparent with you. So let's see, Claude is coding out right here. Also got AI Studio going. We can build something else out in the meantime via Client. That costed us 13 cents to build out the Flappy Bird game. We'll go inside here again. We'll take another prompt from the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. And we'll say build a rage clicker game with one giant button. Let's try that. Alright, so this is the output. I mean, look at this, right? This is the output from Google Gemini inside Client. It's just super basic and average, right? If you compare that to the output from Claude Sonnet 4, the outputs look way nicer. So let's play this. You can see like the graphics are nicer, the UI is nicer. It just feels a lot more fun to play. So I don't know whether it's just because it's in beta or something like that, but the new Gemini 2.5 Pro preview is not as good as I would have hoped, you know. Let's go back now. If we go over to AI Studio, still coding out the Rage Clicker. Let's check out the Rage Clicker from Visual Studio Code. Here we go. It's okay, right? Like, that is okay, but it's not that impressive. If we actually take the same prompt again and we go back to Sonnet, and we see what Sonnet comes back with. Let's hit enter on that. In the meantime, we'll let that load. But so far, the Claude is superior. No matter what the benchmarks tell me. I refuse to believe the benchmarks. AI Studio is just going mad on the coding. And if we go back to the chat room inside Open Router, let's see what we got here. Oh, it's being really buggy. Why is it being so buggy? Alright, let's copy that. Is that single HTML? Alright, let's try it out. Here we go, Hyper Dopamine Pong. It's looking incredible. But it does nothing when you click it. Alright, let's have a look inside the chat room here. So we did say single HTML. It just, I mean, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, mate. Honestly, if you compare that versus like the outputs of the normal Gemini, the previous version, I would say the older version is actually better, right? So for example, if we take exactly the same prompt that we used on the new version, but we'll use it on the old version inside Gemini, using Pro Preview, let's see what we get back. In the meantime, let's check out the Rage Clicker from Claude. So this is the one from Gemini, the new version, not that interesting. If we have a look at the new version from Sonnet, it's just 10 times better, isn't it? 10 times better. Let's have a look. We got the Rage Clicker game being built out by the old version of Gemini as well. I don't think the new version is inside here because it's not available for general availability yet. Yeah, this is better. What are we even talking about here, peeps? It doesn't seem like an upgrade to me. Let's check out the final output. So we'll give it one last chance. It's still coding out, so it's been there for nearly 7 minutes just coding this out, right? So from what I can see overall, I'm not going to say that Gemini, the new version 2.5 Pro Preview, is the best. Being fully transparent, it doesn't seem that good or interesting. Claude Sonnet 4 seems to create better outputs, and also the older version of Gemini inside 2.5 Pro Preview on Gemini seems to be better as well, right? So from what I've seen so far, Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview 0605 is just not as good. If you want all the video notes from today, all the prompts, etc., feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab. And if you want to get coaching, support, community help, if you want to get all my best courses, agents, if you want me to create a personalized video for you each week, and if you want 3 coaching calls per week showing you exactly how to build agents, do AI, make money, scale, solve any problems in your business that you have with AI, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. And additionally, if you want us to just go off and automate all of this stuff for you and just implement it for you, feel free to get the AI strategy session, link in the comments description. You can book in a free strategy session, and then from there we can jump on a call, figure out what you need to automate, and then also help you automate that stuff, all right? So feel free to get that link in the comments description, and thanks for watching. XX says much better, really. I agree with you. CMFA says the new one's better than the old one, in my opinion. Why is that? I've tested it. I mean, I've done like 5 different tests, and so far, from what I've seen, it's better. And then building out games and stuff like that, I showed you how to do that today. Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview 0605, the latest update that literally just came out today. We're going to be comparing that versus Claude 4 to see which one performs the best. Now, if you're not sure about the new update and what it means, so there's a new version of Gemini 2.5 Pro. You can get access inside OpenRouter and also inside AI Studio, and it's had a 24-point ELO jump. It's supposed to be better at reasoning and also have enhanced creativity. We're going to be testing them side by side today and seeing which one performs the best. By the way, if you want this cheat sheet and all the prompts from today, feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab. And we're going to get straight into this, all right? So let's pull them up side by side. We'll see which one performs the best. We're going to run this through a coding gauntlet and test them out, just see which one gives us the best output side by side. So the first prompt that we're going to test out is build a beat racer game. We're going to make sure that we have Pro Preview selected. By the way, you can use both of these models for free. Claude 4 Sonnet is free up to a limit, and also with AI Studio. What we're also going to do is select Extended Thinking on. And additionally, in fact, we'll select Opus 4 because that tends to be better for coding in general. And we'll run both of these models and just see side by side which one performs the best. Now, one thing you're going to note straight off the bat is because this is an early release, right? This is a preview model and version of Gemini 2.5 Pro. There's no canvas option. So we're going to have to run the code that we get back from AI Studio inside LiveWeave just to test the outputs. Whereas Claude 4 Sonnet can actually preview stuff directly inside the canvas. I also want to see how these models perform in terms of speed, so we gave these prompts at the same time. And we'll see which one performs the best. To be fair, it seems like AI Studio blasts out the code like it's blasting out tons of code, tends to code line by line a lot quicker from what I can see. Additionally, whilst we're waiting for these, let's run through the benchmarks here. So if you go to OpenRouter, we can actually compare these side by side versus Claude 4 Opus. Now, if you're coding with the API, this is going to cost you money for either model, right? So Gemini 2.5 Pro and the API of Claude 4 Opus are both paid models. And you can see how they perform side by side. So Google has a much higher context window than Claude by like 5x, right? 1 million context window versus 200K. It's actually 1.05 million now. And if we compare the providers side by side, so this is by Anthropic, this is by Vertex. Also, if we check this out, so look at the difference in price here. Claude 4 Opus, $15 input per million tokens. Input for Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview 0605 is 1.25 million, right? And then for output, $10 per million tokens versus 75 per million tokens, right? So Opus is a lot more expensive with a much lower context window. But let's see how they perform in real life. So we've got AI Studio still coding out right here, whereas we have Claude 4 Sonnet with a beautiful little beat racer. Let's check this out. I'm actually going to mute that because that was way too loud. Let's see what we got back here. I really didn't like the sound effects there. That freaked me out. You never know with AI what's it going to come out with, you know, especially on a live stream. So this is a super hard game to play, to be honest. Like you got to be right there, ready to go. But not bad at all. Not bad. AI Studio seems to be struggling. It always seems to struggle with like audio jobs, right? So you can see here how long it's taken to code out the audio and just writing in numbers. So in the meantime, we could just move on to the next task and see which one performs the best. And for that, we're going to build a whack-a-mole style game with absurdly fast moles and bright flashing visuals. I'm actually going to remove the audio prompt simply because it just seems to confuse AI Studio, and I don't want that to ruin the tests. Let's run that, and we'll run this on Opus as well. Fantasy Cloud says, so what's great about this newer model? Honestly, from what I've seen, I mean, so far, AI Studio hasn't even finished the first test. So from what I've seen so far, Claude Sonnet is actually, Claude Opus, sorry, is still beating it by a long, long way, right? Like the outputs, the speed. Claude has nearly finished coding the second task, whereas AI Studio is still on the first one and struggling, right? So from what I can see, like, you know, you get a much better output from Claude versus anything else. Alright, so we have AI Studio actually won on speed in the second test. Let's plug that in, see what we get back here. Here we go, Hypermole. What a game. Whoa, that is a crazy one. That is hard to play, but I like it. I like what they've done there. It's a little bit too flashy though for this time in the morning. So AI Studio has created something really cool there. Let's see what Claude 4 Sonnet, Claude 4 Opus does. So it's actually, has it failed on the last HTTP? There we go. HTML, there we go. All right. So let's copy that. Can we get that to preview on the canvas? It's trying. Working its magic. And yeah, if you're wondering, so Gemini 2.5 Pro preview, this is the 0605 model, as you can see on screen here. So you can see that this is the latest model from Google. Just came out literally a few hours ago. So let's try Claude's output here. Here we go. I'm still going to say that Claude won there, to be honest. Yeah, I would say that's a better game. Just looks a lot more interesting, and it's less like, you know, the UI is nicer. The other one was a bit too crazy on AI Studio, to be honest. And that is super addictive as well. Yeah, I'm going to say Claude 4 Sonnet won again there, my friends. It won again. All right. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to test out on a new chat here versus AI Studio. We're going to test out creating a nice little cheat sheet. All right. So let's say, for example, you need to create a landing page or something like that really quickly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a prompt that actually ran through GenSpark, and that created something super nice this morning. This one right here. And I'm going to enable Google search. So we're going to allow grounding with Google search so that it can search for stuff from today using Gemini 2.5 Pro preview. We're going to run this prompt like so. Basically what we're trying to do here is create like a beautiful landing page cheat sheet that promotes our funnels, but at the same time creates all the information we need to know about Gemini 2.5 Pro preview 0605. And what we're looking for in terms of outputs is obviously design, but also we're looking for really good information as well, right? It needs to be presentable for like a YouTube video, that sort of thing. But I mean, so far from what I can see, like Claude is winning by a long, long way. You know, AI Studio is going to have to pull something amazing out of the bag. Claude has failed on that task. It says Claude is unable to respond to this request. Start a new chat. All right, let's start a new chat, see what we get back. That's crazy. Look at this. It won't reply. Why is it being so weird? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go into OpenRouter and try inside the chat with Claude. It's going to cost me a fortune, but that's the price we'll pay for you. We're going to enable web search. And see what we get back. AI Studio has come back with some information, but it's not that well designed. Like, I was looking for a sort of landing page style here, so I'm going to try that again and just say single HTML landing page. And there we go. How crazy is that? Like, the API responds to me with that prompt, but the chat doesn't. Super weird. It's going to be hard for them to beat GenSpark, to be honest. If you look at GenSpark's page, like, it looks super nice. Got some nice like confetti animation right there, clickable links, etc. Links to my funnels, nicely designed. It's very hard to beat that, but we'll see what they come back with in a second. So you have the code back from AI Studio first, and then we'll plug this in. See what we got here. The Ultimate Dopamine Cheat Sheet by Julian Goldie. It's come up with a nice little title. Click for a dopamine rush, and you get the confetti animation. That's a lot of confetti right there. Alright, this is pretty nice, to be fair. Like, maybe it's just better for coding landing pages and stuff. He's added some nice prompts, links to our funnels, nice tables, FAQs, etc. It's got a gradiented background as well. I want to say that AI Studio did a really good job there. Now let's wait for Opus and see what we get back. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what do the benchmarks say? So you can see here, for example, you got the benchmarks side by side. So it is a lot cheaper than Claude Opus 4. And in terms of humanities last exam, it's outperforming Claude Opus, OpenAI 3, and DeepSeek as well at 21.6%. For science, it's outperforming all of the other models. So this compared to OpenAI 3, Claude Opus, Grok 3, DeepSeek R1. And you can see for code editing as well, so Ada Polyglot is performing way better than all the other models. So for a lot of benchmarks here, it's actually outperforming way better than most of the other models on the benchmarks. It does seem to create better landing pages and code that way. But let's see how it performs in terms of HTML code versus Opus. So we've got the code from Opus here. Let's test this out on LiveWeave. Here we go. Let's open this up full screen. Let's check this bad boy out. It's not bad, but I would say Gemini 2.5 Pro beat it by quite a long way there. So like, this design is okay, but if we have a look at Gemini 2.5 Pros, I mean, it's more interesting. It's got more going on. It's added some example prompts, more information, etc. It's also compared the Gemini 2.5 Pro experience. It's actually pulled in the right content here. So for example, top scores on Ada Polyglot, #1 ranking on Web Dev Arena, which I know it definitely has. It's got some nice questions and Q&As here, and also it's linked to our funnels. So just to recap here, in terms of game creation, Opus seems to be winning. In terms of generating landing pages, I've actually seen better results from Gemini 2.5 Pro. Although some people are saying that Claude's landing page is better because it feels less squished in. Alright. So we've tested out. I mean, the other thing about Claude there was that it just refused to respond to my request when I put it in the chat. So it would only create it by the API, which obviously costs money, which is kind of annoying. Let's test something else out now. So I'm going to say, inside here, we'll go to a new chat. I'm going to say, okay, create an AI growth calculator, helping people understand how they'd save time with AI automations. Make it fun. Confetti animations, crazy, etc. Alright, so we're going to do that inside AI Studio, and then we'll do the same inside Claude. And we're cooking them out. We're cooking them out. We'll see. Some people are saying Gemini is cooking. Let's see what we got back here. All right. So AI Studio 1 on time there on speed. Let's see what we got here. We got the AI time warp. Pretty nice UI. Looking good. Unleash AI. You can't exceed the total work hours. Alright, let's put this down. We got too excited there. So I've got to knock those down. Unleash the AI. The UI is not that nice, so the only thing I would say is, like, for example, you can't really read that properly, and also it doesn't feel that fun. It's kind of basic, but okay. If we have a look at AI Studio at Claude now, and we'll change this to like 5, for example. Yeah, that's working nicely. I would say the UI is better than that. It's more readable. I like the flashing lights on the headline. Looks pretty cool. I can just publish it as well. This was using Claude Sonnet, by the way, which is not even the most powerful model. But you can see here how you can publish it. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to say for creating tools and calculators and that sort of thing, Claude Sonnet 1 there as well. Alright, so overall, what am I saying? I'm saying that for landing pages, it seems like Gemini 2.5 Pro just nudges it on the new version, which is 0605. But Honestly, overall, Claude Sonnet, Claude Opus, I'm sticking with it. You just can't beat it. It's unstoppable. The only thing I don't like is the price on Claude Sonnet. And obviously, if you're optimizing for the API, then you probably use Gemini 2.5 Pro simply because it's a lot cheaper and also it seems to be faster when it's coding out. All right. So if you want to get all the notes from today, feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab. We've also got there a Gemini 2.5 Pro course, as you can see, along with links to all these other AI automation courses on agents, NA10 templates, etc. All the video notes are right there. We've got 100 different prompts on how to use Gemini 2.5 Pro 0605. And additionally, all the prompts that I've mentioned from today, we've got inside here, plus another tutorial on Claude versus Gemini 2.5 Pro. So feel free to get all of this inside the AI Success Lab, completely free, link in the comments description. It comes with 9,500 members, as you can see right here, and we're just giving away free trainings. So make sure you don't miss out on those because we give away stuff like every single day. It is absolutely amazing. And additionally, if you want to connect with me, if you want coaching support, if you want DMs, if you want a community with good vibes that celebrates wins and shares knowledge together, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. I'm going to record a video today answering all of these automations. 28 people posted comments on what they want to see with AI automations, and each week I just create a video answering and giving people the answers to every single one of these automations along with templates. On top of that, we have 3 coaching calls a week inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and you can post inside the community anytime you have questions, like you can see right here. We get back to you as soon as you want. So for example, Richard posted, I answered him same day, and so did Vic, who also runs the community. And yeah, it's just an awesome community of good people serious about AI who want to scale their business and make more money. Additionally, we're also adding loads of different courses and tutorials and templates each week inside here, which is pretty wild. And it's just focused on one thing. The goal for everyone who joins is to make more money and save time with AI. Additionally, if you're just like, Julian, I want you to automate all of this stuff for me, help me figure it out, so you can jump on a free AI strategy session. We'll jump on that call, and together we can look at your website or your business, figure out what you need to automate, and then from there put a plan together in terms of doing it for you. All right, and that should save you at least 100 hours per month, right? That's the whole goal of this. So feel free to book that in, link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. All right, so next up, what we're going to be doing is running through some automations inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So today I'm going to show you all my best automations and show you the templates, how they work, etc., based on the latest post inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Basically, each week we ask everyone inside the community, which is a community of 600 people, what automations they want to see, what's going to help them the most, what's like the most practical way to monetize this stuff, right? So I'm just going to run through each of these automations, answer them, give away the templates, and we'll get straight into this. All right. So Christian was asking, like, you know, could you build a no-code workflow with NA10 to generate videos? And what we actually did was we created this NA10 Reels workflow. You can actually get the blueprint here inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If we download that, then we can start using it inside NA10. All right, and if you just want to use this stuff, steal it from me, get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So essentially what you can do inside NA10 here is, if you go to create workflow, we'll import the workflow that I just showed you. So import from file here. There we go. And basically what this workflow does is it comes up with an idea, then it links that to Foul AI, which can generate images with Flux. From there, we generate the videos, right, as you can see. And then we also generate the sound for each video as well. It's all automated, like literally you just click a button, generates all the ideas, the content, the sound, the music, etc. Then it stitches all of those videos together, as you can see. And then it sends that to a Google Sheet, which you can then auto post using Blotato to TikTok. So for example, if we go over to TikTok here, and we have a look at some of the latest videos posted, you can see an example. So if we go to this video, this was generated with the Reels automation and automated in terms of posting using the Reels post, right? If you want the auto posting workflow as well for NA10, we've got that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You can just download and import it directly here. All right, pretty simple and easy, and you can easily get this set up step by step. And then, you know, you can customize that to whatever you want, right? So for example, Christian was asking like, how can we do it for exclusive wallpaper packs? And you can easily do that using the process that I've shown you today. So that is the first automation that we built. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is would love a complete posting to socials and how to link to Replit. So Replit is kind of like a AI automation process where you can quickly build like apps and that sort of thing, right? So what you can actually do is you can use webhooks in NA10 and that will run with Replit, right? I've inserted the instructions inside this post. You'll see it pinned inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And then from here, if you want to use like a social media posting machine, we've actually got this one that you can download inside the AI Profit Boardroom, right? So you can see here it posts to Twitter. You can actually approve the content before proceeding. You can publish to social media, so Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. And it's like a content factory for social media to post all your socials. So that's probably the easiest way that you can get access to that. And you can download the full template here inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Each one of these answers that we give, we just link back to the module where you can download this stuff. And there you go. All right. Next up. So Alston was asking for an end-to-end powered automation, right, from prompt script to video. So we actually did that with this Reels automation as well. But the other thing you can do is you can actually use GenSpark as well. GenSpark is pretty good for this, right? So for example, if we go to GenSpark here, and you can see inside GenSpark, you can generate videos, right? I'm just trying to find the previous chat that I generated. So essentially inside GenSpark, what you can do is you can go inside here and you can say, okay, create a video, 60-second video about a man slaying a dragon. In fact, it's not GenSpark, it is Manus, that's why. Alright, so if you go to Manus here, which is very similar sort of AI super agent, you can, for example, say like create a short video platform, blah, 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 do this, and it will actually generate videos and integrate them inside a sort of platform, as you can see. Alright, so if we open this up, we have the videos automated directly, right? So you can embed those inside a SaaS tool that you create. The other option, and you can, this is really easy as well, start to finish, is you can say create a 60-second video with a story about, and then whatever story you want to create. And inside GenSpark, it will generate the videos, create each video, like you can see right here. Let's open this up. So this is the video generated with AI, and it also came up with a storyboard too. The way that this was done, it was done with Manus, And basically you can create videos, you can create the whole storyboard for you. So here's the full story outline on the right hand side. And then if we scroll down here, we can see the video. So for example, if we play this is the full 60-second video automated from start to finish, including the storyboard. All we had to do is just give it the idea, and then it went off and created this lifelike AI video that's kind of like a mini movie, right? Super easy to do. You don't need to come up with much to do it as well. And Manus basically does the 80-20 of the work. It's crazy stuff. And then you can actually deploy that to a website as well if you want to share it with people, or just download it and host it somewhere. So that's a really good option as well when it comes to this stuff. We actually have a full course inside the AI Profit Boardroom on how to do this. For building out travel apps, so Brandon was asking, like, how do you do like a front end and back end UI and deployment for travel apps? For this, I would recommend Data Button, right? Data Button is pretty cool. You can build like full stack apps to the back end and the front end. We've got a full SOP and video tutorial inside here, but basically you can go into Data Button and then you can start building out the full, the full thing that you create, right? It's like you can create a full front end and back end software. Now, the cool thing about Data Button is that it figures out all the steps for you. So for example, it will figure out all the individual tasks and then it will start coding them out step by step. So if we sign in here, here's what the back end looks like. And then, for example, if we want to have a look at this SEO Connect hub, we can check out the app and you can see all your previous apps that you've built here. But like something, for example, like a job board or something like that, you could easily set up using this process. If you don't use the app for a while, it will shut down unless you're on like the paid version, I think. But you can see here how we've created this job board directly inside Databun. And then it will plan out on the right hand side all the tasks that need to be done and then build your app in the middle here as well. We can come back to that once it's done. Let's have a look. So we've got this right here. Let's open this up. Yeah, it's deploying him right there. So we've covered how to automate videos, how to build front end and back end apps, how to create the script for videos and automate that as well with NA10, along with automating reels and social media content too. So that was what, 5 different automations that we already blasted through. Now, Tina was asking, okay, how do you create a bridge or a relay between, for example, like Replit and 2 AI models of choice? So what you can do is, like, for example, inside Replit, I think inside Data Button, I'm not sure about Replit, but Data Button, you can actually switch between AIs, and then you can get one AI to check the other one. The other option is you can use something like ChatGPT Codex, right? So if you publish your code to a GitHub, and then you import that GitHub into Codex, Codex will run all the tasks for optimizing the code, improving the UI, fixing bugs, etc. in the background, right? So you can link it to a GitHub repository, like you can see right here, and then it will test and just, proofread the examples that you built. By the way, if you want to see the example of the app that I created with Data Button, you can see it right here. So here's the app that we built, and then people can sign in. And you've basically got a front end and a back end. Right? You can also link this to Superbase as well. But yeah, pretty simple and easy to build. So let's go back here. So for NA10, Chris was asking, like, how can you improve NA10, for example, for landing pages and stuff like that, right? Using Go High Level. All right, how can you link Go High Level and NA10? So we actually have a bunch of ways to automate, for example, like opt-ins, landing pages, and websites with Go High Level inside the AI Profit Boardroom. We also have a client onboarding automation through High Level as well, right? So for example, if someone signs up to your processes, they can fill in a form, and then that creates a new automation inside NA10. The other option that we have is this example. So I'm just going to download this. This is a workflow where we created an AI sales agent that links to Go High Level. So let me show you an example. So we'll create a new workflow inside NA10, and you can just import this workflow. So let's import from File, open this up, and then inside NA10 here, you can see that we've got a webhook, right? So as soon as someone books in a call from Go High Level, that goes through a filter. If it's a new sales call, then this agent will write the email body, then the email subject line, and then create a draft for our sales reps to start chasing people up, right? So step by step, you can easily just go through these stages and start generating automated emails, right? And you can just import this workflow right here from the AI Profit Boardroom. The good thing about that is, like, you know, for example, whether it's your sales reps or your customer service team, etc., you can link Go High Level, which is a CRM, where all your leads are coming through, to NA10. And then, for example, your reps can draft emails and all that sort of thing using these processes. All right, Chris was also asking about a simple bot that can manage communication and then give them to you in one place. Specifically translating content, right? So for example, like Chinese to English. So we actually have this NA10 workflow, and you can see here, basically it triggers by a Telegram message, it runs through the AI agent, and then the AI agent responds, right? And it automatically translates stuff. So let me show you an example here. And we've got the importable NA10 JSON blueprint if you want to try this stuff, and you can just edit it how you want to. But if we go inside this AI agent, and then I'm going to type in some Chinese, for example, let's say I want to automate the translation of this. We can go inside here, type that in, and then it will reply with the translated Chinese, right? Let's try something a bit more complicated here. So I'm going to say, give me a sentence about Chinese. DDIFX says, are you going to change your name to AI instead of SEO? I wasn't sure if I should sign up because it wasn't SEO I was looking for. Yeah, so the majority of our business still comes from SEO, right? But SEO is basically now AI, like it's all AI related stuff. So I'm going to keep my name as SEO on YouTube simply because most of our clients who come to our business are buying SEO. But we do have the AI Profit Boardroom, and we do talk a lot about AI on our channel, right? And it's usually the same audience. Like the audience that will buy SEO from us is also very interested in AI. And so like we serve both audiences, but we reach more people using this. But yeah, if you check out the AI Profit Boardroom, that is all about AI. It's not just about SEO. It does have an SEO module, but a lot of it is just, you know, about automations, making money, scaling your agency, etc. So I'm going to type in this sentence in Chinese into Telegram, and now you can see it's come back to us with the translated sentence automatically. So Chinese is one of the oldest and most widely used languages in the world, with rich history, culture, and writing tradition, right? And so basically you've got this full Telegram bot that can automatically translate Chinese to English for you. Nice. So Robert was asking about a job application processing workflow where it can take job application forms, send the applications, and then compare it against all the other applications received. The easiest way that I know to do this, right, is that when you get those applications, you actually get them to your inbox, not to your website, right? Because it's going to be much easier to store the data. Then you're going to use something like GenSpark, Super Agent. And inside GenSpark, you can link your Gmail account, like you can see right here, right? So for example, for you, you've obviously got all those job application PDFs and everything that you want GenSpark to download. So what you would do is, once you've connected your inbox, is you can say inside here, download all the PDFs regarding job applications from my inbox. then compare all the candidates and create a dashboard comparing the top 5, right? Something like that. So I'll give you an example. So if I change that to, okay, check all the sponsored video emails from my inbox of people asking to buy sponsored videos on my channel. And then we'll say, then compare the top 5 offers and create a dashboard comparing the top 5, right? So we're going to hit enter like so. And that should pull in the data from my inbox and then start using that. Now, I know this works really well for job applications simply because GenSpark, when they actually released this update yesterday, in their video, they actually showed how to use this for job applications and stuff like that. So it's a really powerful tool for just filtering through a lot of information, downloading it, and then comparing like job applicants, for example. So if you want to see a demo video of that, let me pull this up. And then if we go inside here, here's an example. And you can see here how it's comparing like job applications using the tool, right? So it says search my Gmail for resumes related to this job, download all resume attachments. So you want to make sure that all your applications are going to your emails as well. And then if we go back inside GenSpark, you can see that it's pulling out the latest emails, comparing the top 5 candidates, etc. It'll come back to us with the details. So that's the easiest way to automate this. Peter asks, okay, I'd like to write my own stories for sci-fi movies. How can I do this? So Perplexity is actually really good for this, right? So if you want to storyboard stuff and automate it, you can use Perplexity Labs. It's basically like an AI super agent. You can use a prompt like develop a short sci-fi film concept in a noir style about a 30-year-old female scientist living on Mars in the future when a calamity hits, blah, 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 create 9 storyboards and full screenplay. And then you can see how it storyboarded the whole thing, created the images, created the ideas for the storyboard, and that was fully automated. So Perplexity Labs are really good for that. We do have a full course here inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to get access to that and learn how to use it. And Marco was asking like for an automated Pinterest content process, right? Automated with make.com. So for this, we actually have a make Pinterest workflow. And inside this make Pinterest workflow, you can download the JSON file if you want to just import this. But essentially inside make.com, let's pull up this example. You can use this example to create multiple images, right? Now, if you want to create like 15, you would just duplicate this module over here over and over again and just link it inside the workflow like that, right? So you can create like 15 of those if you really wanted to. And then what it would do is take the outputs from ChatGPT and run that through Pinterest. Now, what you could do inside your Google Sheet is you could have a description of the blog post. So that's how you can send this from ChatGPT, so from Google Sheets to ChatGPT image generation to Pinterest, and then over to Google Sheets again if you want to track what you've posted. The other way as well, for generating AI SEO automation content, is you can go into the SEO module inside the AI Profit Boardroom here. So if we go to the classroom, AI SEO automation, and we have this full blueprint on make.com. So for example, if we download this one, we'll go back here. In fact, we can, let's create a new workflow. So you know how to automate Pinterest. And then if you want to create automations for SEO content, You can import the blueprint, find the file, take the make automation, boom, there you go, right? And that takes a keyword, creates the content with Claude, and then posts it on WordPress. So that's basically how you can do both the Pinterest automations as well as the SEO content. So Jason was asking, like, I would like an automated process where I can provide a keyword or phrase and it could scrape Reddit for that keyword or phrase and pull out useful posts, right? So the way that you can do this is actually quite an easy and simple one, is you can go onto NA10. And you can use this automation right here. And basically what this does is when you plug in a keyword, it will run through the AI agent, and that AI agent is going to pull out keywords from Reddit using the Firecrawl API request, right? So you can see the Firecrawl API request right here. So if we go inside the chat, let's open this up, and I'll say, okay, SEO is my keyword, right? Something like that. What you can see here is it's now running the HTTP request using Firecrawl, and then it's going to pull out Reddit posts like you can see inside the chat, right? Now, if you want the NA10 downloadable workflow for this, it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You can just download and import that. And if you go back to our workflow here, we've got the posts pulled in from NA10, right? So let's open this up. So for example, like, what is SEO? Search engine optimization. Is SEO really that important? Blah, blah, blah. And you can see the posts right here, all right? And so if you want to pull out the latest ideas, etc., blog post ideas, you can use this AI agent. It scrapes Reddit, it finds the keywords, you just type in the keyword that you want inside the chat, and you're off to the races. The only thing is you need to set up the API key, but I've got the details on how to do that inside the AI Profit Boardroom Firecrawl Reddit bot right there. And that is it. I've covered all the automations. Incredible. So how many is that? One. So one for video, one for social media, two. One for AI-powered automation on videos, that's number 3. The front end and back end web development, number 4. Bridging Replit or other AI models like that, 5. Enhancing GHL with NA10, 6. The Telegram bot, boom, 7. The job automation with GenSpark, 8. The sci-fi storyboard, which is number 9. And then the make.com and Pinterest automation for SEO, number 10. And Jason's automation for Reddit, number 11. All right, 11 different AI automations as promised. You can get that all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. This also comes with weekly coaching calls, so you can ask us any questions that you have, and also all of our best AI agents, templates, workflows. The value in there is just absolutely insane. We also make a personalized video for you answering all your questions each week, so you can post automations, tell me exactly what you want, and I'll just create it for you like I've shown you, with proof that everything works, and also the downloadable templates. And then inside the community here, you can post any questions in between the coaching calls, and if you need help, etc., you can just get help from me and Vic and everyone else in the community. Additionally, we share all our weekly wins, right? So it's a team of winners, it's a tribe of winners who just want to share the journey and enjoy it along the way. And additionally, if you miss any of the coaching calls, we actually post the coaching call recordings inside the Q&A section here. On top of that, each week I actually break down all the latest AI automations, just to share, like, okay, here's what's happened recently, right? Because there's a lot of crazy stuff, and I want to show you what's working, what's good, what's not, what shouldn't you waste your time with, because I know it can be overwhelming sometimes as well. So every Monday we do this, we recap the latest updates and new stuff, and yeah, it's just an awesome community of people trying to help each other, all right? And it's only $59 a month. You save like 1 hour, you've already paid for your time there. And additionally, if you want to get all of this stuff implemented for you, feel free to get a free AI strategy session, link in the comments description. You can ask any questions on that call, jump on the call, and then additionally, inside here, We'll jump on that call together. We'll look at what you can automate, how you can save time, and then if it makes sense for us to work together, we can implement that for you. All right. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Sporter says, please remind me how you post to all of your platforms. Is it automated? Yeah, so if you want to learn that stuff, again, it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You can check out the social media AI agent posting content that we've talked about. And yeah, appreciate you watching. See you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.